Hey YouTube, it's Florida Fallout here. I'm coming with you with a quick video. Basically what I'm going to be trying to do is find supplies around this lot next to my house to make a quick snare. Just a whole bunch of it's just a lot that's been used constantly just to for people to dump their trash on, really. And I'm gonna see if I can't find enough stuff here to make a real quick snare. I'll get back to you with that in a couple of minutes. Well, I found some wire, but this stuff is way too thick and it doesn't have enough give to make a snare. So, here we go, here's something. This 5-pound weight. This would be perfect for a good counterweight snare. We can just keep this and put it over here. Found some rope. It's important to remember that people, they just leave stuff that could be used for perfect snare use and everything. So if you're ever in a survival situation, you always have to look for trash. Really, that's the best thing to look for. See, look at this. This is perfect right here. See, look at just a little bit of pressure and it bends. That's perfect snare wire. Seems like we have just about everything to make a counterweight snare. So let's just set this up. Alright, so let's just go back over all the stuff I have. Got some wire. Got some rope. And it seems like there's some fishing string tangled in there. This also brings another idea. 5-pound weight. This could be used as our counterweight if we make a counterweight snare. Now look, here's another idea for a counterweight. If you're ever in a survival situation and you see a beer bottle, this is actually a very good idea. You just fill this beer bottle, or anyways, Mike's hard strawberry lemonade bottle anyways, full of sand or rocks and pebbles, and you can use this as your counterweight. See, because it's got these good little rivets right there for where the where you put the cap back on it, and you can easily tie your string around this to use as a counterweight. So now that I have all of my materials to make a counterweight snare, well, almost all, I still need to find a good tree to use. So let's go and see if we can't find one. Just pick up my materials. Let's go. This is going to be my first YouTube video. I'm going to be posting on my YouTube channel. Let me just tell you a couple things. I'm obsessed with survival. I always love being prepared for things. And the more you know about survival, the more you're ensured safety if you're ever in a survival situation. But one thing's always to be sure. If you're ever in a survival situation, the most important thing is you gotta have the will to survive. That's something that, yes, Survivor man Les Strout always said, and it's always something I've held very close to me. Alright. Let's see. where to go. I like these trees over here. Let's go and see what we can make out of them. Grab my stuff. Take a look around. Look at these trees. See how that tree right there is kind of leaned over? Like that, and that'd be perfect for a little snare. Just not good enough for what I'm planning to make. You want something, when it's a counterweight snare, you want something kind of bent over, like a branch like this. Don't know if that'd be able to hold my counterweight, but it would be the perfect tree. Let's see if we can't make something happen with this. Okay, I'll get back to you guys in a few minutes when I clear out the debris. So I've cleared out some of the debris, and now I'm just gonna tie my string that I found on that lot to my counterweight. I'm just gonna do a real quick simple knot, nothing too fancy here. Just quadruple knot it. That ain't really gonna go anywhere. Then, like I said, we're just gonna toss it over that limb. And hopefully, that limb can hold that amount of weight, which it should no problem. Alright, here we go. There we go. So there we have our counterweight. Now, this is just a demonstration of what the counterweight would do. I don't have the snare nearly complete right now. Plus I'm running low on battery, so I'm going to have to change that out. So, see, there's my counterweight. It's going to be placed higher up. Down here, I'll have a little noose. I'll say this is my noose. And then I'll have my trigger placed down here. My wild game or animal goes through the noose, pulls the trigger. Trigger's pulled, so is the game. Game's pulled up too. Gonna change the battery real quickly. So, got my counterweight set. Comes all the way down here. What you do is, you see this? You got a little loop. Make this little loop, and then you see this little Y-shaped stick. You make that loop on this Y-shaped stick. But first, you just take this off. Make a little notch right here. And this is what holds this loop. You want to make it facing away from your counterweight, so that way the weight of the counterweight is actually holding it there, but not too much. You just want to barely set it there to where any amount of force could trigger it. So, there. Now that we got it halfway done, it's time to make our snooze. And this is where the wire comes in. Now, wire is the best. See? Because once it tightens up, it's virtually impossible for the animal to wiggle its way out of it. Fishing line, however, would also work. It's just not. It's better for a tripwire because animals won't see it. See? You can barely see it on the camera, especially if I hold it in the light. All right. So now I'm gonna grab my wire after I set my snare back up. These snares are personally one of my favorites. They're so much fun to make, and they're very efficient too. If you know where to place them, And really, this is just an example of how to build one. But if you're wanting to build and place it and hope to catch anything, you're going to want to place it close to a den, but not too close, because if the animal picks up your scent, then no way, you'll never catch it. Or close to a trail. See, the trails, putting this close to a trail works best, because the animal will be running. When the animal runs through the trail, it would trigger your tripwire. Bam. Now, and another thing is, counterweight snares, they can be used for pretty much any sized animal. You just got to keep in mind, for the bigger the size, bigger the counterweight. This, I could probably catch myself a squirrel all the way to a smaller sized rabbit. Now, with that being said, let's finish it up with our snare wire. Here's the beautiful thing about snare wire, it's so easy to work with. Just grab it, get it like this, then you just twist it around. So much easier than rope. So much easier. Then once you get a couple of those twisties right there, you grab what's left and then you twist it here. And there we go. See? But the problem with that is I twisted it on a little bit too tight, so I'm going to have to undo that and make it a little bit looser, so that way it has a little bit more give. There we go. There we go. That's alright. That's pretty good. There we go. That's a pretty decent size snare. Alright. So, keep in mind I'm making this all with materials that I just found on that empty lot over there. Okay, so putting this over here. Only problem is I really don't have anything to cut wire with. But it's a lower grade wire, so a sharp knife should work. My knife isn't really anything particular, just... Sorry about that, memory card got full. So, back where we left off. Got my snare wire here. Then I'm going to... See that? There we go. Yeah. Tie it on to right about there. Now for this part, you want to make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want this to really slip off. Then after that, just grab your knife, cut off the extra string you have here and save that for other projects. Okay. And for extra security, tie it up. Then voila! And just bend this into shape. Perfect. Now, now that that is done, see, you can't even really see it, can you? Right there. Alright, now let's go and grab a stick. Ooh, that was a nasty one. Ugh. Get all that on my pants now. Alright. So. Works pretty good, eh? Well, with that being said, thanks for watching. Have a good day, YouTube. It's Florida Flawless.